Hi guys, welcome to Unicorns in the Basement.
It's not a basement. This is the basement of the earth. Our souls are in the basement.
I'm Koya.
Raziel.
So today's
I
topic.
feel like you should go with a yokel. I don't know, but I like it.
Okay.
Go.
So today's topic, we're going to talk about when it's not necessarily like when is too soon to move in with somebody, but like what's a time frame? Is there a time frame, or like just about moving in with each other? How soon is too soon, or something like that?
I feel like that's a topic that should always be, not always be brought up, but it's a topic that when you talk to somebody, it's like, it shouldn't be a topic that doesn't come up.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, finish saying what you were saying, like the topic.
Oh yeah, well that's the first topic, but I also wanted to get into like how do you adjust to people and their ways? Like when you're moving with somebody, you're pretty much moving into their space. Typically a single person have their own house or own apartment, whatever.
Sometimes both parties have their own place.
Right.
And you have to make a decision of which one to go to or
moving
leave
together.
Yeah.
But the question is, how do you adjust to that? Because
to me, the first thing that's wrong there is when people. Okay.
The first topic first.
Oh, I was just bouncing all over the place.
I know.
All
so
right.
the first topic first, the time frame about moving in with somebody. What do you think? Like, what do you think? Is there a time frame? Is there not? What do you think?
That's a tricky question because it's like, well, it's not that tricky. It depends on how you're feeling. Because when you meet a person, to me, like I said in our last episode, there is no such thing as too soon. It's either just right or nah, this ain't gonna work.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you can tell there's people that they're together for 3-4 years, and they haven't moved in because it hasn't felt right. And to me, like you together for 3 to 4 years, and you're like, oh, we not ready to move in. It's not gonna work.
I agree.
You haven't moved in because you something's holding you, like mentally. You're like, what's going on? I don't know. Something's holding you back.
Yeah.
2, your love. If this is if you're together for 3 or 4 years, your love should be so strong by then that you can't help not living with this person. You know what I mean? Like you go home and you're over there, he's over there. It's like, oh, I wish you could just lay in my bed every day. And then you do stupid stuff like sleep over each other's houses every single day. But there's this small disconnect where you're like, but he don't live here. So he or she always treats your place according to the fact that it's your place.
Right.
So they can't come in and throw their shirt on the ground or do their bad habits that you don't see yet.
Right.
And people think like, oh, he or she comes over every single day, so we understand each other. So why you haven't moved in?
Right, because I feel like everything changes at that point. So like when you meet somebody or when you're dating or whatever, like that is something to be discussed.
Yeah, of course.
Moving in together, because that person may not want to, they may be like, I'm comfortable where I'm at, so I don't want to, coexist with you yet.
I feel like moving in with a person is a good way to fast forward the BS, like whatever nonsense is about to come. Because let's say, traditionally, the way I guess our parents used to do it, right?
Yeah.
They do, I'll see you for X amount of days, years, months, and then one day I actually marry me, and then one day we'll get engaged. And at this time frame, they wasn't even like having sex or nothing. It wasn't even on the trash. Some people waited to have sex until they got married, moved in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, like you ain't gonna let me drive the car till my name is on it?
He's so stupid.
No, man. Not even drive the car.
But it worked. It worked. It works for some people, though.
Not a lot.
It works for some people.
No, it worked for a lot of people. But I'm saying I feel like it's how much time is wasted amongst the people that it didn't work.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, there's a huge chunk, like for example, my mom and dad, rest in peace, there's a huge chunk of people, like my mom and dad, that lived together just because they were together. Like in other words, like they got married and everything and they lived together. But the love died
A long time
years ago.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't be surprised that love would die by the time I came. By the time my sister came,
Right.
It was just like laying in bed. Like, I'll get on, and then boom, baby came in. It's like
Right.
the love been lost. But
Yeah,
you know,
and that's a lot of relationships too.
We just do.
It's a routine now.
We do routinish things. So having sex and having a baby is like part of it.
So, okay, so what do you think is too soon? Like, I mean, so you don't think there's like a too soon and then like, do you think like when you're dating or whatever, if a person, because like, for instance, me and you, when we started dating, like it was a few weeks.
Yeah, it was probably like
a month or two.
A month
maybe?
a month is a long time. Let's call it a few weeks.
Right, and then
Let's call it a month.
Right, and then it was like, do you want to move in with me? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, like it was just like
So-
we was together all the time.
Yeah.
We was always hanging out and doing everything together.
You're right. And
then,
but I feel like certain people, they feel like that's too quick. Like, oh, that's too fast. You're moving too fast. And I'm like,
Too quick. Why? Who?
I think,
Same thing I said last time. Who wrote this too quick book?
right. And I really think that it's about a mental state. If you're ready to move in with that person, then you're ready.
I got one. So this is, and I said this in the Shut the F Up and Love book, right? I lost my train of thought for a second. Oh, I say, remember when I was saying, and for those who haven't read it, you should go get the book. But there's a part in the book, one of the chapters, where I say it's crazy that people treat friends.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
They treat friends way different than they treat. I don't know. They treat the person they're with, that they trust with their heart, mind, body, and soul. They treat them different than their friends.
Yeah.
Subconsciously, they don't even know that they're treating their friends better. It's like if you meet a girl and you like her, and she's like, you know, let's say she hasn't lived with you yet, but then 5 months down the line, she's in a bind, and you're like, oh, I don't know, this chick come live with me.
Right.
But your friend,
friends.
who could, he smoke weed and you don't smoke weed, or he into bad stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
He not good with money.
Right.
You know, he lived with his mom his whole time, but his mom kicking him out. You like, yeah, no doubt.
Right.
You come tell me, dog. Let's do this. I'm like,
That's so true. And the girl that she's like financially set and everything, she just in a bind. That's
but it's
living
because,
space.
but that
like, nah.
that goes back to why relationships need to be entertaining. Like when you date somebody, it needs to literally be your friend. We
Yes.
as
I
people need to stop putting relationships into this bucket of, or this category, this subject where it's like, oh, that's the relationship.
Yeah.
Like my girl or my man can't come home, hang out with me and the fellas or me and the girls. And I'm going to a place where there's like, I don't know, there's strippers there, or they're gonna be getting real rowdy there. Like, you know, but your friend could come with you. They shooting bullets down there. Yo, let's go. And it's like, wait a minute, what? Like your friend could go to the end of the earth and back, but your partner that got your back no matter what, that you know, hopefully bust their gun for you, probably die for you.
Right.
But now you can't come.
Yeah.
And some people feel like, you know, I was speaking to a friend of mine, I want to say his name, but I was speaking to a friend of mine like 2 or 3 days ago. He was feeling that he can't bring his girl around a certain friend because that friend is kind of like, I guess like not touchy-feely, but you know, like his personality, and he gets a lot of girls. He's like a player and all that stuff like that. So he don't like. And he said that when he is around his girl, he feels like he seeks a lot of her attention. Almost like, you know, he feels like, yo, he trying to hit her on the low, see like what she give, like he throw these weird hints.
Right.
And I'm like, first of all, that ain't your friend. If that's how you feel, it needs to be addressed, or that's not your friend. And that friend admitted to sleeping with another friend's girl.
Yeah.
Whatever. So my thing is like, things like that, you shouldn't put yourself in the category of, my girl can't come around when this person's around. It should be, yo, if my girl can't come around, if I feel uncomfortable with my girl, my man coming around this particular person, we don't need to know this person.
Right.
Because people get confused at the fact that, yo, you're a team or you're not.
Right.
You squad goals or not. Like either you are or you're not. Right. So going all the way back, circling back to your question in the sense of like, when is it too soon? There is no such thing as too soon. And again, this is just my opinion. It's the fact of, yo, like for example, me and you moved in, right? We moved in pretty quick. And we had mad fun. It was always like, it was technically going the same thing if you really think about it. Well, I saw you at your job or whatever. You came to my house.
Right.
And we ate food,
Yeah,
and
it was
then,
the same.
and then we hung out and we did what to do, and then we went to sleep.
Yeah.
And woke up and made breakfast, and you went to your job, went to my job, and then we met up again somewhere and hung out, then came back to the house.
Right.
So it's almost like, in a way, you're just like, yeah, I'm going to see you literally every day. And this is if you're in a serious relationship, like you really genuinely like this person. Like, I'm going to see you every day.
Like serious people,
Yeah.
like not you playing around.
Yeah, I'm going to see you every day. So since, I'm going to see you every day, I'm going to take you out every single day. I'm going to do, and so some people are not in that financial situation to be taking somebody out every day.
Right.
But they play the role like they are, and then they get in the bind, and when cheesecake starts turning into, what's something?
Taco Bell.
Cheesecake turns into Taco Mac, then Taco Mac turns into Taco Bell, and then all of a sudden you eat McDonald's, and all of a sudden every day it's a Waffle House, because your fronting ran out.
Right. So okay, what do you think about like?
So the answer to the question is, you should be able to move in with a person whenever you both feel you want to.
Right, and it's never too soon.
It's never too soon. And if it don't feel right, then it might never feel right.
Right.
Because you can meet a person, you can know a person for 5 years and know freaking nothing about them.
That's so true.
And you can meet a person in 5 minutes and go, man, I don't learn everything I need to know.
Yep. That's so true. So, okay, when you're moving with somebody, all right, after you get out of that part, when you're moving with someone, how do you avoid the...
And I don't want people to think like she's asking questions, I'm answering. We spoke about these topics off camera, and then we just kind of get into it afterwards. So she has her opinion, I have mine. She's just better at building up the question. So I don't want anybody to think like, yo, is he like Dr. Phil over there? No, it's nothing like that. It's just she's better at building up the question. I suck at building up like, yo, so you move in.
Okay. So when you're moving with someone, and the whole thing where, like, let's say, and this is typical, if a guy has the toilet seat up all the time and you're a girl that doesn't like that, how do you get rid of those awkward moments, where it's like, I have to tell this person, or finances come up, and that's a whole different episode, but I just want to know, like,
how do you adjust bad habits?
How do you adjust to the bad habits, right? Like initially when you
it literally is what you said. You adjust. Now you could talk to this person, of course.
Right.
You know what I mean? To me, again,
but it's going to take.
It takes
time because that person is literally.
It takes time and it takes patience.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I remember I took a class one time. Not even a class. A job I had put us in this class, and in that class, it's a class, but I didn't take it purposely. But it was a class, and the guy kept on saying, you condition people. And I never forgot that.
Yeah.
And it's like, you need to understand, you don't condition people to be a certain way. I don't come to you and go, I'm going to show her how to sit with her legs crossed every day. I'm going to show her how to sit with her legs crossed every day. No, you condition that person to understanding that you sit with your legs crossed. So around your atmosphere, you want this. So example, the toilet seat. Mm-hmm. You condition that person to the toilet seat.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you tell somebody something, sometimes you tell them, of course.
Yeah.
I feel like you talk to the person or whatever it is. If you're a person, you wake up in the morning, you like doing the bed sheets, and they get up and gone.
How they do?
Gone. You know what I mean? So you're that kind of person where you just leave, or you leave the toilet seat up. To me, is you adjust. As the person that hates it, you literally adjust.
Yeah.
And as the person that not used to doing that, you have to adjust to the other person as well.
Yeah.
Now, it's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
But to me, if you handle it right when it happens. Because, for example, when either party, let's say I come live with you or you come live with me. But let's say you come live with me, right? Because that's what happened, right? So you come live, and I hate saying you come live with me. We move in together. It just happened to be I had the place. I don't like saying like you moved into my place. I don't like saying that.
Right.
But we move into a place, and especially if the person comes to your place, right? They already kind of, to a certain extent, not tiptoeing, but they gotta.
Yeah, because everything is yours.
Yeah, they gotta get right. They gotta get to the point where they feel like it's theirs too.
Yes.
That's when you say it.
That's true.
Like
it's hard. Nothing is hard. It's just a lot of times women, and I think men do this too, they vent to other people about it. But like they vent to other people like they don't want.
Stupid.
It is stupid, but they don't want.
I don't care what nobody say. Oh, he calling women stupid. I'm not calling women stupid.
No.
I'm calling people who vent to other people when you should be venting to the person stupid.
Because like even if you say something and then that person, like you know, they're not getting it at the moment, it's frustrating. So you're going to go to work or go to school or wherever you at, like wherever you are, and be like, oh my god, you know, it's annoying because he never.
I get it.
Put the cap on the toothpaste.
I think you should just, like I said, if there's things that you like doing, it should be, honestly speaking, when you move in, the same way you could talk to somebody, I mean, you're talking now, you could chop it up with somebody, you need to make it, everything in a relationship to be successful has to be entertaining, has to be fun, and it has to feel intimate. Not like romantic or sexy.
Right.
Intimate in the sense of like, we're talking to succeed.
Right.
Like we are talking to bond and succeed
together.
So there's nothing wrong with using some imagination to address these things. So if the person moves in, and you know, first day or second day, you cook dinner, boom, 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 and you're happy they moved in, right?
Yeah.
Or you're happy you live together. Let's say you could cook some dinner, put a candle, some wine, whatever, and literally be like, all right, you know, so look, you could say it in a cool manner, like, all right, so let's get all the do's and don'ts and pet peeves out between each other.
That's true.
And it becomes,
that's true.
It's like when me and you first met. This is another conversation for a different episode. When me and you first met, we threw all our dirt on the table.
And remember we did that book, that All About Us book?
Yeah.
It was a book we did.
I found it recently or somewhere with it.
And it was like a whole bunch of random questions that we didn't...
But people would feel uncomfortable answering that in the long run. The book had questions that we was like...
Yeah,
in the beginning,
because
it's not that you don't care, it's just your emotions,
like your emotions are
they're not so
intact.
intertwined. Yeah.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like, if you move in with a person and you make it fun, I'm giving you free advice here. I should start charging for this. You make it fun. You sit there with a cup of wine, some drinks, some food, some happy food, not
some
like
cake,
some cake, but whatever. You've been together for a little while.
Yeah.
Or you kind of know what the person kind of likes, right?
Yeah.
Like chicken wings, cake, fruit, whatever
the case. Yeah.
Hennessy, you get it. You put the table full of that. Mm-hmm. You can even play cards while you do it. Mm-hmm. Like, all right, so you know, I had an idea. Like, let's get all the if, ands, do's, don'ts, the pet peeves. Like, I mean, let's wash it. Let's get it.
No, yeah.
So not only as the guy, you want the girl to feel happy in your place, or vice versa, and as a person that's moving into the place, you want to feel acclimated and comfortable. Mm-hmm. You both still are like, all right, so. And the fact that you conditioned this person from the beginning, now you made it cool. You're not nagging a year later or a few months later.
Right.
You're not bitching about it. You don't wake up one day happy and cool and you're having your coffee, and the person, as soon as you mess up your morning, you left the toilet seat up. You like, you didn't even get to sip the coffee yet. You know,
right.
You outside walking the dog and something stupid happened, like you get a text with a picture of the toilet seat. And you're like,
picture of the toilet seat.
Now you make
but some people do that in the beginning. It doesn't even take a year.
But that's what I'm saying. Whether it's the beginning, yesterday, today, 2 months, a year.
Yeah.
My point is, if you wash it all out right from the jump.
Yeah.
And people, that's the thing. People feel like people are conditioned into this. I keep saying it. I'm gonna say this probably forever in this podcast. Like,
yeah.
It's people are conditioned into this unwritten book. Like it's your relationship. Do what you guys want to do.
Right.
But this is funny. You've seen the scenario 1,000 times. Boy meets girl, girl meets boy, go meet the parents. Parents don't like them. What the couple say? Fuck my parents.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you could say, forget your parents, you could say, forget all those people, forget the people that I know my whole life, I'd ride for you. Why can't I just sit down and tell you, like, I don't like these things right here, you know? Like, before I see them, like, I don't like the toilet seat up, you know, I like the cap on the toothpaste.
Right.
You know, if you brush your teeth and you get spit on the knob.
And I think even when people do that the first
and you might not
round,
even to think of everything you hate at the moment.
Right.
But, you know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think people do it the first go around. I think the awkwardness comes when you have to say it again, or you have to, you know, And I guess it's for another
You,
podcast.
no,
but-
you could always bring it up, cool. Like, see? You know how we do, like, we play with it? I be like, yo, see? Then we got toilet seat. Now
They got them dishes.
when I smack dust out of you for keeping this toilet seat up, I'ma say, you remember that talk we had? So you know what I mean? Like, people forget that this is your partner.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be nothing you could and nothing you cannot say. I'm trying not to go together, but nothing you cannot say or nothing that's too extreme.
Right.
I mean, you go in the bedroom and you do the most awkward position, the craziest thing, and put your mouth in places that wasn't meant to be put, but you can't tell this person something. Don't act like I don't eat the groceries.
Oh my gosh. Shush.
You know, but you know what I mean? Like, so you do all these things together, and you barely have money, but you'll spend your last dime on this person, but you can't tell the person the real.
Right.
Or better yet, you as a person that you claim you love them, you can't accept the real.
Right.
People be like, keep it real, keep it 100. We live in a society that is so fake, but claim everything is real. You know, we got all the quotes. If you ain't real with me, forget it. You know, my favorite, the stupidest thing in the world, when people do this, you know, cleaning my Facebook list and deleting people I don't really talk to or care about. So if you made it and you see this message, consider yourself like, man, shut up. What are you talking about right now? Who are you? And it's always people with like a little following.
But then that same person, they can't tell their girlfriend or their boyfriend.
That's what I was gonna say. That same person, their boyfriend or girlfriend leave the toilet seat up. They just hold it. Take a picture, send them when they walk the dog.
Or like leave the dishes. They be like.
Then they go to Michelle or whoever their friend is to vent. Girl, you at work taking it out on your coworkers because all your 100 keep it real posts, you couldn't do it at home. Now you messing up everybody else's day.
Right.
So to me, it's like, as far as moving in, as far as getting acclimated, as far as doing everything, I really feel like if you just straight up from the Dutch beginning.
Yeah.
If you like this person and you really vibe it, you feel like this person likes you, even loves you, and there's no such thing to me as it's too soon. Like, so you could love a person overnight. That's what the phrase came from, love at first sight. So to me, it's like you could love a person instantly.
I feel the same way.
And you could love them like madly, like a psycho person. Not psycho, but like
separate.
No, I'm not saying psycho, but psycho like in the sense of like your love is so high that if the person's on the same level with you, they're like.
Yeah.
And my thing is, people need to be honest in the sense of what you're feeling, say it.
Yeah.
So if you truly are like, man, I'm crazy about this person, say it. If the other person feels the same, there's no problem. And if they don't, at least you know how to move about, or at least you know, like, oh, maybe this is not going as good as I thought it was.
Right. That's
You know
true.
what I mean?
In the beginning.
But forever, all the time. I tell you all the time, like, I love you this much, I love you this much. And sometimes, I'm not going to lie, like, so insecurities would kick up in my ass sometimes, and I'll be like, yo, we good. But I'm asking you.
Right.
Like, versus me being like, and then, because my insecurities would kick my ass, I start doing stupid shit, like, when you're not looking on your phone, like.
You don't do that, though.
No, I don't. But no, I do that. I'm saying, like,
No, yeah,
because a person's not being 100% and asking the question, say what you're thinking.
Yeah.
And I know that can be annoying, like, why you ask me that question? But, we're human beings. We can't turn on and off insecurity. We can turn it off and we control it. But when a thought pops in your head, you be watching TV. I've seen this happen. You be watching TV. And a relationship that's similar to yours, then in the middle of it, the person's cheating, the person never saw it, and the person that's watching is like, hold up. Hold up. And
It's just TV! And you're like, thinking like...
And then here comes John Smith through the door, and she's like, where you was at? And like, what you was doing? Give me a phone. Like, then all of a sudden, but now you can't turn it off.
Yeah.
It's like it went in your brain, and you can't get it out, that the other person should just be like, yo, what's wrong? Oh, I was watching, and you say something, not like that, but you watch something, I'd be like, what's wrong with you? You'd be like, oh, I was crying. Why? I was watching something on TV. But you see how that affected you into crying, because you was watching something, not cheap, but you was watching something sad about family, whatever it was.
Yeah.
The same way you watch a movie, when we watched Endgame, Iron Man died, I was like, like, yo, I've been shot at, I've been in fist fights, I've been jumped, I've hit people in the head with bottles and bar stools, but a fake character that Iron Man died, Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. I don't know for a hole in the wall. I'm like, but that is saying we're human. Human can, things can trigger an emotion that it has nothing to do with you. I don't know Thanos. I ain't got the Infinity Gauntlet. I don't know none of that. So when I saw the movie, I was just, I was in the emotional roller coaster when the movie came out. I was like, oh man, Hawkeye lost his family already. Oh, Spider-Man came back. Tony Stark hurt.
No, I know. I remember.
And then not only that, then when they all came out on the screen, I was like, I went from like sad to yelling to screaming to crying to like, no.
I know.
In a span of 3 hours or 4 hours, whatever that movie was. I was just like, so what I'm trying to say is, you can actually look at something and your emotions roller coaster, and you have to get a grip with things.
Yeah.
So you could just be with your friends and something happened to her, and you're like, what if it's happening to me? So to me, it's like, in a world where anything can trigger you, you could just be scrolling through Instagram, and you go to your man's page, and a girl that he truly do not know, especially if your man's into some kind of entertainment, she's like, oh, looking good, baby. You knowing that that's his fan base, that he has no, you go into it, he don't even follow her, he's never liked none of her pictures, he's telling you, I've never seen the chick, and the girl would say, I don't know you.
Right.
Yeah. She could even have a DM saying, hey, I don't know you, but, and the girl still be like, oh, y'all set this up. You told her to send a text saying you don't know her. What? My point is, anything can trigger a roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah.
So, back to the whole thing is, if you just 100% from the jump, and if you can't be 100%, nothing's going to be 100% in your relationship. Like, to me, it's like everything should be a revolving door. It could go in and it could go out whenever it pleases. You should be able to wake the person up in the middle of the night and be like, this times I called you as like when I'm heading, when I'm heading to work, like 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, I'm sorry about last night. I'm thinking about these things, and then we get into a full blown conversation and we continue to, like, later on at night.
Right.
But it don't be an argument. It don't be me holding it the whole entire day and I wanted to say it. Now there's like a text and things are getting read wrong and you can't tell the tone. And
yeah, and that's the worst thing about text.
So it's like, if you just straightforward,
yeah,
I think you'll be all right. Like, I don't get it. So it's like, as far as moving in, it's just, if that's what you're feeling like doing, then you should do it. Mm-hmm. Worst is going to happen is you're going to find out what you don't like sooner than later.
Yep.
And some people say, oh, that's because y'all did that too soon. No, it's not.
No, it's because you figured out that they're not the one for you as far as personality and as far as what they do.
So tell me this. So what's going to happen? So if we don't move in and we stay together for like 4 or 5 years of not moving in, right? Or let's not even be that long. Let's say we don't move into like a year or two. Mm-hmm. And you see all my habits from coming over to your house and you coming to mine. We breaking up now? Like, I'm not moving in, or you're not moving in? What's going on? Oh, we're going to have fights now? Or now it's going to be, I don't want you moving with me till you learn how to, now it's like, I'm treating you like a kid.
Yeah.
Until you learn how to do this, you can't move in with me. Versus the person coming in and you guys collectively adjusting. Or having the wine and cards and talking and through time, you two condition. You're taking a whole existence and the whole existence of people and putting them together under one roof. You became who you came in whatever years you are. Let's say the people are 30, 25 years old. And you became this person 25 years it took. And this person became this person in 30 years, so to say. You're taking X amount of years and putting them under one roof. It's going to take at least a year or two to blend that, to master it, to understand it. So to me, it's like, whether you move in 10 years later, a year later, or tomorrow, or the same day you met, the same amount of understanding comes into play.
And I just want to say that it's the same goes for roommates. The same goes for when
roommates are even worse to me.
When you live at home with your siblings, you hate the way the things that they do. So you have to realize that when you're dating somebody and you're gonna move in with them, it's the same. And with a sibling,
with a sibling is a little different because you grew up with them. So as you were learning yourself, they would learn themselves.
No,
so
that's true. But I'm saying
things,
like
but
even
a person that already knows like manners and things like that.
Yeah, but everybody don't know. Everybody has different backgrounds. So I
always say when there's a red flag, consider it like there's fire. Throw water on it right as soon as you see it. Oh, let me throw water on this before it gets bigger. So when you see the fire, like question, What's your
Yeah.
solution? Question. What solution? Question.
That's true.
Solution. You know, the water's the question, and some powder on the water for it won't burn up again is the solution. So,
Yeah.
if people are just honest, man, and that's honestly, it's almost like we could never film another podcast ever again. We had technical difficulties.
Sorry.
The camera turned off by itself. I don't know what happened, so I apologize if the conversation just cuts off. But ending off.
Yep, we're gonna end it here. Please like, subscribe, and share the YouTube channel. Also, leave comments below, just asking questions because we want more to talk about and we want to answer you guys' questions. So
I'm gonna get a T-shirt that says "There's no such thing as too soon."
I think that'd be a good idea.
Just keep wearing it and be like, "Boom, like there's no such thing."
So they can ask you questions.
But ain't no such thing as too soon.
Then you can tell them.
But on that note, this is gonna be my way of leaving every time I go. Like, all right, bye.